what about things like brands, honing on branded keywords, not your brand, but your
Yeah.
competition's brand?
Yeah, it's interesting. So with conquesting keywords or competitor keywords where, let's say I'm again, to use the shoe example, let's say my competitors are things like Zappos, for example. Um, I typically don't see that good performance. It really depends sometimes on the actual product or service being offered. Um, I'd say generally I don't see as good performance with conquesting or competitor keywords. I typically see better performance just with bidding on relevant non-branded keywords or non-competitor keywords. Sometimes it'll work. Like if I've had some success with that for newer products. I'm sure like within the food subscription and mattress space, some success where you just have so much competition and the comparables are kind of tighter between them. Someone who's in market for HelloFresh, you could probably convince them to maybe buy Home Chef also. It's not too big a difference. So for that, I'd say like there's some testing involved, but um, whenever I do run conquesting or competitor keyword campaigns, the ad copy is it's I don't really do that for shopping, but for search it's very important. The ad copy where I will be usually the go-to headline I use is the number one alternative. Like that will be my headline. So like let's say I'm HelloFresh and I'm bidding on the term Home Chef. Someone searches Home Chef, I'll say the number one alternative, and I'll like bid really hard on that, and that will be my first headline, and maybe I'll pin that as my first headline. So someone searching for Home Chef will be like, "Oh, number one alternative, what's this?" And they'll click it. But usually, I'm not doing too much of that for shopping. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's true. So I had this conversation a long time ago. I don't remember who it was, but the conversation was, okay, would you or would you not include your competitors' brand names in your content
Mhm.
or bid on it? And the argument is this. So let's assume that you do that, and and you have a shopper that's searching for that brand. The reason why they're searching for it is because they are either a loyal customer or they're somewhat familiar with it, or it was recommended or whatever. So what are the chances of them going for your list? So very low. So that's why it's something that is really not worth your time. However, and this is what happens on Amazon, and I don't believe that's the case on Google, but you tell me, I'm just guessing. If, for example, you're selling sneakers and you're competing with Nike, and people who searched Nike ended up buying yours. They found your listing and they bought it. And that happened several times. Amazon will index you for Nike, because now they discovered that people who, of course, they need to have reviews and blah blah blah. So does that kind of thing apply on Google?
It does. I mean, there's some algorithmic like smart bidding where if you are optimizing for conversion and you happen to be converting for like yeah, let's say that term Nike, you will show up more for the terms that you're converting on. Google will show you more for those terms. Yeah, that will
And
happen.
that happens under smart bidding, you say?
That will happen under smart bidding. Yeah. So like instead of if you're optimizing, sometimes people, this is kind of more of an old school method, but they'll do like manual CPC where they're like literally putting in the CPCs and adjusting those. If you're using smart bidding and it's basically just optimizing for conversion, and Nike happens to be a term that you're converting on, even if you're not Nike, you'll show up more for people searching for Nike if people are actually happen to be converting that
That's
term.
smart.